Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing something a little different. We don't have an unboxing. We're actually going to do our first tutorial video, and we're going to talk about makeup today. Today I kind of want to give you guys a crash course in beauty. Hopefully this will help you guys out figuring out what to buy and what to use to create your cosplay looks when you go to cons and do photo shoots. So the first thing I like to always mention when I give my panels and talk about makeup is that makeup is an art form and it's going to take practice. So you won't be necessarily fantastic the first time you do it. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some practice and learning the techniques in order to, you know, achieve that perfect look. And it's also going to take some experimentation. Don't be afraid to play with makeup and try new things, because you know, you don't have to necessarily follow one exact pattern for doing your makeup. Now today I'm going to cover all the steps to creating a full look. I'm going to show you some of my favorite products and recommendations, and hopefully that will help you guys with your makeup looks in the future. So before we even dive into makeup, the first thing I like to talk about is skincare, because this, I feel, is also a very important part of your makeup routine. When you're going to be outside, be sure you're wearing sunscreen. You can apply that before your makeup. You can also purchase some primers and foundations that already have SPF in it. You're also going to be wanting to make sure you have a good cleansing routine for yourself, especially after you've been wearing makeup. My number one rule is don't sleep in your makeup. Don't do it, okay? Just don't. You will regret it. So you want to make sure that at the end of the day you're taking your makeup off. I just use simple, nice L'Oreal makeup wipes. Really easy. You can buy these at any drugstore, and you just need one wipe and you can clean the face. But that's not it. You don't want to just use the makeup wipes. You want to make sure that you also have a good cleanser, toner, and moisturizer for your face to really clean those pores out and make sure you get that makeup out of there. You're also going to want to make sure that you identify your skin type. You need to be dry to combination, oily, and get products that work best for your skin. I can't tell you guys what to get because everybody is going to be different. You're all going to have different skin. You can also use masks to help with your skincare routine a couple times a week. And I also recommend you exfoliate a couple times a week to help get rid of those dead skin cells and really clean those pores out. So yeah, skincare, important. Make sure you do it right along with your makeup routine. Now, on the note of skincare, the first part of my makeup routine every day, going right along with that, is to moisturize. I use a Clinique Dramatically Different moisturizing lotion on my face every day. I use Clinique products to also clean my face because I find that they work best. But we're gonna go ahead and moisturize because I haven't done that yet today. And this is really important before I even apply the makeup. So this is the first thing I do to my face before the makeup will go on it. Yeah, look at me rubbing that all over my face. So we just rub that in nice. And you'll just want to make sure you get a moisturizer that's going to be good for your skin. So don't necessarily go out and say, oh, I have to buy this Clinique. No. Go get what's good for you and works for your skin type. So now we've talked about skincare, let's go ahead and kind of dive into some makeup brands. So I'm gonna put it right up here. Boop, 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 boop. Some of my favorite brands of makeup to use. You'll have higher end and low end listed on the screen for you. All the brands that I've listed are cruelty free. So if that is something that is important to you, these are some great brands to use. If you're new and you're just starting out, don't feel you have to go buy that higher end makeup. It is expensive. So if you're tentative about purchasing makeup, I recommend you go and check out some other YouTubers that review makeup. Tarte is one of my favorites. She does makeup reviews of both low end and high end stuff. Finding reviews on YouTube is a great way to locate great products. The next thing you're going to need for your makeup routine is you're going to need your tools. So you're going to need brushes and a beauty blender. don't necessarily need the Beauty Blender. It depends on how you want to apply your foundation, but I highly recommend them. So my brush set is an assortment of brushes, but you're gonna need brushes. I have a little kabuki here too that I use, and then a Beauty Blender. You do not have to buy the brand name Beauty Blender that is $20. You can get I use these, the Real Techniques. They carry these at Ulta and drugstores usually. They're cheaper and they work just as well. So let me pull you guys in closer and let's get started on putting a look together. Alright, so I've already gone ahead and moisturized my face and it's all ready to go to apply makeup. So the first thing we're going to put on is primer. Now, you don't necessarily have to use primer. You'll find beauty gurus on YouTube will tell you, oh yeah, use primer or don't use primer. It's up to you. I personally do enjoy using primers. Primers have a couple uses. They help kind of create a base for you to apply your makeup to. They help smooth out those pores and kind of protect the skin a little bit from the makeup itself. So this is what I use. This is from Tarte. It is their Poreless primer. There's a lot of different primers on the market. NYX makes some great ones. So you can go high or low end. And for this, we're just gonna apply some on the finger and then just rub it into the skin. Now, I will note that if you have a silicone allergy, please check your ingredients on your primer because some primers do contain silicone. So that's something you're gonna wanna keep in mind when you get a primer. All right, primer done. So now we're ready to actually move on to the makeup. Now, before we throw on foundation, we're gonna talk about color corrector. So I don't necessarily have to use it as much unless I get a day where I have a lot of redness on my face or if I get breakouts, but color correctors are great. These are the Urban Decay Naked color correctors. And what these can do is these can help correct those color imperfections on the face if you have a lot of redness. If you have bad breakouts, color correctors can be a great way, great to apply underneath of your foundation so that you have help you conceal those problem areas. Now we're going to do our foundation. There are so many different types of foundation out there. There's, creams, you've got liquids, you've got sticks, powders, BB creams, tons and tons of different types of foundation. I could do an entire video on foundation types alone. So we're not gonna go super in depth into the different types, but I have them listed right here for you. Now, personally, I use a cream foundation that is full coverage. Now, foundations will have different coverage. You have light, medium, or full. I prefer full coverage because I like to give myself a perfect smooth canvas to work on. Personally, I use Tarte's Amazonian Clay foundation, right there. This is a higher end foundation, but there are plenty of brands out there that make great foundations that are drugstore level. So if you're looking for something in that price point, I recommend you go check out a couple other YouTubers, check out some reviews, and to help you figure out exactly what kind of foundation you want to go with, and just check out all the different foundation types, their coverage levels, and kind of go from there for what you're looking for. So for my foundation, I apply it using a beauty blender. This is a off-brand beauty blender, but I tend to just apply mine directly to the blender itself. A nice little dollop there, and then we're just gonna apply it all over the face. And here we go. Don't mind the silly faces. And you're just gonna use your beauty blender, press it in nice and evenly all over the skin. Okay, excellent. So now that we have a perfectly foundationed face, the next step we're going to do is we're going to apply some concealer. Now, concealer has multi-purpose. It's not just for blemishes. You can also use concealer as a highlight, basically. So you're going to go with a concealer that's a little bit lighter than your skin tone, and you're going to apply it. Usually we use it under the eye area to kind of brighten that, and you can also use it to help conceal any breakouts or redness that maybe is still showing through the foundation. I have hair in my foundation. Good. Okay. So for concealer, I use Tarte Tape. This is in the shade Fair. Oh, and my shade for the Amazonian Clay foundation was also Fair Beige is what I use. So we're just gonna take some with the doe foot applicator and apply that to the under eye area. Then we're just gonna apply and blend that right in with the Beauty Blender. Okay, concealer done. Now the next step that I like to do when I am doing my face is I go ahead and I apply my eyeshadow primer before we move on to our powders. So for me, I use Urban Decay's primer potion in a little tube like this. This is a great eyeshadow primer. So eyeshadow primer is something you use, you put it on your lids to help create a base for your eyeshadows to stick to, and also to help prevent creasing of eyeshadow. We're just gonna take a little bit of this on the doe foot applicator, apply it all over the lids. Excellent. Applied, blended in, ready to move on. So the next step that I do on my face is I like to go ahead and powder and set everything. Because when it comes to contouring, which we're going to get to in a minute, I prefer to use powder contours. So I'm going to use two different powders. I'm going to use a foundation powder, and then I'm also going to use a setting loose powder. So the foundation powder that I use is in Fair Light Neutral, and it's from Tarte. And we're just going to apply this with a kabuki brush. And we're going to apply this everywhere except in the under eye. In the under eye area, I'm going to be applying a general setting powder. And we'll get into that reason why in just a minute. So let's go ahead and apply this on the face. Okay, so now that we've gone ahead and applied that powder, we're gonna go ahead and set the under eye with a loose setting powder. For me, I'm actually using a drugstore brand for this. This is the Maybelline Master Fix. And we're going to apply this with a beauty blender. So this is a technique that in Beauty World is called baking. And so the reason you bake is this is going to help you set your under eye. It's going to help prevent creasing on the under eye, so you're not going to have your foundation crease. And it's also going to act as a barrier against fallout when we do our eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna take the Master Fix from Maybelline, and we're going to use a beauty blender to apply it. So I'm just gonna dip the beauty blender, and we're gonna apply that right to the under eye. Okay. So the next step we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and do our brows and our eyeshadow, and then we'll go back and we're going to finish up the face. So for brows, there's a lot of different products you can use to do your eyebrows. I do recommend that you do eyebrows. Now, when it comes to cosplay, you have characters that are usually going to have a lot of different color hair. You're going to be wearing wigs usually. You should match your eyebrows to your wig. Now, In general, your eyebrows are going to be a shade or two darker than the wig that you use. So if you have a bright blue wig, you're going to go a little bit darker in color than the actual wig. So for brows for cosplay, I find the easiest thing that you can use is eyeshadow. Eyeshadow works great. You can buy palettes, some inexpensive palettes that have a wide range of colors to use specifically for eyebrows, especially if you do a large number of different wig colors. That's a really, really great way to do it. You can also just use shadows from your existing palette. And if you struggle with covering your eyebrow with shadow, or you have darker, thicker brows, what you can do is you can use, this is the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in white. So you can use this eye pencil, and we can apply this to the hairs of the eyebrow, and this will create a base for you to apply that colored shadow to, and it'll stick really well. So for this technique, what you're going to do is you're going to take the jumbo brow pencil, and we're going to go back and forth over the hairs on the eyebrow, because you're going to want to make sure you coat them completely. And then you're going to want to take a spoolie, and, you know, comb out your brows. I'm like looking at my monitor right there, making sure. So we're going to comb out our brows and shape our brows. And then you're going to want to use an angled brush in order to apply the powder onto your brow in your brow shape. Now, some general rules for brows is your brow, let me pull my mirror this way, should start, if you take your tool from the edge of your nose, this is where your brow should start. From the outside, you're looking straight forward. Your cornea is where your arch should be. And then from the edge of your eye is where your brow should end. And obviously you can make your brows thicker if you're going for a more masculine character. You can always thin them out, but brows can really help create that character you're going for. Now, I'm not getting into cosplay today, so we're just going to use a standard brow powder for my brows, which I use the Tarte in Rich Brown. This is just a powder meant for brows. You can also use brow pencils and pomades if you're going for natural colors. I have a fuzzball that just will not leave me alone. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to do my brows real quick. And I'm going to just use that angled brush that I showed you guys. We're going to dip it into the brow powder as I struggle with a cat on my lap. And I'm going to draw on my brows. And one final rule to always remember is that your brows are always going to be sisters, never twins. Now what you can also do is, if you end up messing up a little bit on your brows, which it can be really hard to get them just right, you can go ahead and take a small brush and touch them up with some concealer and get that shape just right. Alright, so brows done. Not too bad. I know they're not going to be perfectly symmetrical, and that's okay. But they look pretty good to me. So I'm satisfied, and we can move on to the next step, which is going to be the eyes. Eyeshadow is my favorite part of doing a makeup look. It's a lot of fun, and you get to really play with colors, and you can just kind of have fun with it. So there are some other cosplayers that may have done YouTube videos on doing specific makeup looks for specific characters, and those are great to reference. But when it comes to doing your eye look, you can kind of just have fun with it. It's going to take some practice. and, you know, understanding. But once you got the techniques down, there's so many different ways you can do your eyes. The way I'm going to show you is not the be all end all. It's not the only way you can do your eyeshadow. Now, personally, when it comes to shadows, I'm usually a high-end girl as far as brands go. I love Urban Decay. I have, ooh, as I make a lot of noise, hang on. So I have so many eyeshadow palettes, guys. These are my Urban Decay palettes. This is a great brand. Eyeshadows are awesome. Their naked palettes are great, especially if you need more neutral. I'm gonna like just get everything everywhere. Okay. They have some great neutral palettes. Anastasia Beverly Hills, their Modern Renaissance, is a great, gorgeous palette. Now, Huda Beauty is a little more expensive, but their shadows are fabulous. This is their electric palette. This little one is like 25 bucks. But the colors in here are absolutely stunning. So if you're looking for something that is really pigmented, these are awesome. I also like Too Faced. They're another one of my favorite brands. I have a lot of their palettes. I have their Chocolate Peach. This was a special one they did with a influencer with the candy palette, and then the unicorn palette, which I absolutely love, the Life's a Festival. I mean, if you want color, these are fantastic. And there's some duochromes in here that are gorgeous. But they also have, you know, like their chocolate palettes, which are great neutral palettes, and they smell like chocolate. If you have issues with scented things, stay away from Too Faced. All their palettes have amazing scents. Like, this is their peach one. It smells so good. It smells just like peaches. Awesome. And then some brands that I like to use that are inexpensive are ColourPop. ColourPop has some really nice shadows, and Morphe. Morphe is really inexpensive and their shadows are great. This is one of their palettes. Lots and lots of awesome neutral tones in here, and they're great shadows. They're very vibrant. The sparkle on them is fabulous. I love this palette. So the question is today, what kind of eye look do we want to go for? You know, I think I'm going to go ahead and show off that Huda Beauty palette because the fact that the eyeshadows are just absolutely so stunning. Yeah, we're going to play with this, and then we're going to play with some of these, which if you're looking for some extra sparkle, these are amazing. These are the Stila Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows. I'm losing stuff over here. These are amazing. If you are looking for sparkle, I need to get the rest of this set because I only have 3 so far, but these are amazing. So we're going to go ahead and we'll probably go ahead and use one of these as well in conjunction with the Huda Beauty so you guys can see some of the colors. So before we even dive into the Huda Beauty palette here, the Electric Obsessions palette, I'm going to need to lay down a transition shade. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the Morphe palette right here. Remember which one this is. The 35F is which this one is. And we're going to apply a transition shade to the lid. For those of you that are unfamiliar with eyeshadow, a transition shade is going to be the first shade that I'm going to lay down that's going to allow me to blend these colors into. So we're going to use a larger fluffy brush, and it's going to go right in the crease. And it's going to be a more neutral tone. That's why we're going to go with the Morphe palette. So we're going to go ahead and use this one right here, and I'm just going to dip my brush into it, get some of the shadow on the brush. This is just a larger fluffy eyeshadow brush. We're going to tap away the excess and then go ahead and apply this. Okay, so this over here to the lid in the crease. We're gonna also want to make sure we kind of sweep it up onto the brow bone a little bit. Just kind of try and make it nice and soft. So this is what we're gonna blend those really pigmented shadows right into. So I'm using sweeping motions and packing motions when I'm patting the shadow, especially into the corner area, like right here. right, now that we have a transition shade down on the lid, we're gonna go ahead and break into that Huda Beauty palette. So when I do my eyeshadow, I tend to like to do a dark to light eye. So we start on the outer corner with our darker shades and work into a really nice highlight on the corner of the eye. That's what I like to do. So we're gonna go ahead and take a more rounded fluffy brush, and we're going to dip into this darker blue shade here. We're not gonna need to dip more than a couple times because look at that color on there. So, you know, I'm gonna tap away the excess, and we're gonna pack it in with just patting motion right in the corner of the eye. So once I've applied that, yeah, oh, it's so pretty. I'm gonna want to go ahead and deepen that outer corner even just a little bit more. So I'm gonna grab my Morphe 35F again. We're gonna go dip into, with the same brush, into this black shade here just a little bit. Okay, now we're going to move on to the actual lid. Now, typically for my lid, this is the brush I would use. We're gonna dip into this beautiful blue here. So I'm gonna get some on that brush, and we're going to start putting it on the lid. And if you're worried about some of these more shimmery shades sticking, you can always use a fixative spray on the brush to help with application, or you can also go ahead and put this down, use your finger. So for more shimmery shades, applying with your finger is another great technique. So we can just grab some on the fingertip and just press that right on the lid, and it's really gonna pack in that color nice and quick, especially with these shades. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take this one here. This is another fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna dip into that original crease shade that we used from the Morphe palette, and just kind of brush the edge of that blue to help soften it. Yeah, I'm good. Beautiful. All right. We're going to move into another palette to continue the eyeshadow look, because those are the two shades I wanted to use from there. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and dive into this Morphe palette, and we're going to throw a gold on the inner corner, because then we're going to throw some of that Stila on top. But before I do the inner corner, because I use the same brush for the inner corner and the brow bone, so we're going to go ahead and highlight the brow bone first. We're going to dig back into this Morphe palette. I'm going to take the shade up in the right corner here, and we're just going to apply that to the brow bone. For this, I'm using a much denser eyeshadow brush. And then we're going to go ahead and do the inner corner. So we're going to use this gold shade right here for the inner corner. The cattail. So I'm just going to dip that one right back in there again. It's going in a lot because the cats were where the palette was sitting. And we're just gonna pack that in the inner corner. All right. And now before we can complete that eye look, we're gonna need to wipe away the bake so we can do the under eye. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna take a really nice big fluffy brush, and we're gonna wipe away that setting powder, that excess setting powder that we have currently still sitting on our cheeks. So to finish off the eyeshadow look, we gotta do the lower lash line. So we're gonna use a smoking brush. This is a smoking brush. And we're also going to use that very large fluffy brush that I had used to help blend out the crease. So we're going to take some of the crease shade, our transition shade, and just buff it on the under eye, just very lightly. Then we're going to dig back into that Huda Beauty dark blue shade with the smoking brush, and we're going to use that right on the lower lash line. Thank you, Fuzzy. She stepped on the palette. Look at that. I was not paying attention and you being dumb. Okay. And then I'm going to go to the lighter blue shade, and I like to apply that in the middle. All right. Close up those eyeshadow palettes. Now we've done the under eye, but we also want to brighten that inner quarter just a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and take one of these. This is the Stila Kitten Karma, and this is the Glitter Glow Liquid Eyeshadow. And I did this the other day, and it is so pretty. But the reason I did gold in the inner corners is because we're gonna take this and just apply it. What a difference that makes. Don't need a whole lot. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just take my finger and kind of blend out that edge. Ta-da! Those things are amazing, as you can see. It totally makes such a difference. Now, having a really nice highlight on that inner corner, it's really gonna make your eyes pop. So we're gonna finish up the eye look, and then we'll move on to finishing the rest of the face. The next step for your eyes is going to be eyeliner. Now, there are so many different ways that you guys can do your eyeliner. You know, you can do just a simple thin black line. You can do a full cat eye. You can extend your lower lashes. There's so many different techniques you can use. I personally have pretty big eyes already, so I usually don't tend to try to make my eyes look larger, but that is something else you can do. Now, for eyeliners, there's a couple different types. You've got cream eyeliners, you've got liquid liners, you've got pencils. If you're new to eyeliner, pencils are great because they're really much easier to use. You might have to warm a pencil up on your hand first. Liquid liners are the most difficult in my opinion, but once you've used liquid liners enough, you'll be able to do this no problem. So personally, even when I'm doing my costumes, I like cat eye. That's just my personal taste. You don't have to do a cat eye, and I don't do a cat eye for every costume I'm doing. So for me, this is the Nars liquid liner, and we're gonna go ahead and apply a cat eye with this. And it's a brush tip, which I love brush tips. These are really great and really easy to use. One thing you're going to make sure you're due to is if you're using a liquid liner, don't open your eyes all the way until your liquid liner is dry. Otherwise, your liquid liner is going to go and imprint itself right on the top of your crease, especially if you have more hooded eyes. Make sure it's dry, otherwise you're going to regret it. Now for the waterline, I'm just going to use a pencil liner in the waterline in black because I like a black waterline, but you can use white as well to increase the size, give the illusion of a larger eye. Now personally, I am using this right here. This was a sample I got at Sephora from a little baggie, and it is a Marc Jacobs eyeliner. It is a more expensive eyeliner, but oh, it is so good. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this in the waterline. If you are going to be lining your waterline, I recommend creams or pencils because liquids will definitely just go right away because liquids pretty much usually are not waterproof. So those are going to be your best bets for the waterline. Now we've got our eyeliner on. Yeah, I like it. We're gonna go ahead and throw on some mascara. So mascara, definitely want to do that, especially if you just powdered your face, because obviously you can totally see my powdered lashes. I use a cheap mascara. I use Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. This is really, really nice mascara. It's great. I love the brush on it. The big thing with mascara is one one of those pieces of makeup that 3 to 6 months, it needs to go in the trash. Okay, let me just tell you guys, bacteria can grow in mascara. So you want to make sure that you know when this mascara needs to get thrown out. That's also one of the reasons why I like to use more inexpensive mascaras like Lash Paradise, because it does need to be replaced so often. 6 months max, it needs to be thrown in the trash. Otherwise, you can get bacteria growing in it, and that can cause styes and other infections. So you don't want that, trust me. Okay. Oh, so much better. Now, to complete an eye look, especially when you are cosplaying, false lashes are almost always a must. Even if you're doing, say, a movie character, you might want to go with something a little more natural, but I definitely recommend false lashes. I'm not going to bother applying them today because, yeah, I don't really need to. You can buy large packs of inexpensive lashes on Amazon that will give you a great variety for your cosplay looks, or you can spend a little bit more money on them from House of Lashes and reuse them. So you can clean eyelashes. So for example, I have these here. These are Timid Lashes, just a brand I found on Amazon. They're nice and thick and long, and I would use these with any kind of cosplay look. I have bought House of Lashes lashes before. Those are nice. NYX makes some really nice lashes now. I've bought Tarte's lashes. So false eyelashes, there's so many different options out there. I highly recommend that you use them though on your cosplay look, because it's really gonna help you accentuate your face, and it's gonna really make your eyes pop. So false lashes, a must. I'm not applying them today, but definitely something you should be using with your cosplay looks. So we are done our eye look. We're gonna go ahead and finish up our face so we can call this all completed. Now, obviously, I am not done because I have not contoured my face yet. I know I mentioned that earlier, but we gotta contour the face. So contouring is what you do to help create shape and definition in your face. Because if you look at my face right now, you know, I've got this great eyeshadow look, but I look really flat. So we want to go ahead and contour and help me create some definition, create some cheekbones. Especially for me, because I got a very round face. So I have cheekbones, but they're not as prominent as I wish they were. But we can create that illusion with contouring. So to contour my face, I use this here. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzer. Here is the shade right here. Doesn't tell me the shade on the back. No. I think it's the lightest shade of their bronzer that they make. I use a smaller brush first. We pick up some of that bronzer. Oh my god. I use a smaller brush to pick up some of that bronzer on there. And then we're going to apply it to the face. And you know what? We're going to get rid of these because as cute as I look with the earrings on, they're going to get in the way when I do this. So we're going to pick some up on the brush here. And the key to contouring is you're going to want to darken things. You want to recede and highlight what you want to bring forward. So I contour my jawbone, I contour for my cheekbones, I contour my nose, and I contour my forehead. So grab some on the brush, and we're just gonna go ahead and grab my bigger mirror and apply it. If you're unsure as to where to apply your cheek contour, a great way to help you kind of identify your cheekbones is to suck your cheeks in and make a fishy face. I've gone ahead and applied it with a smaller, denser brush. I'm gonna now go ahead and take a larger, fluffy brush, and we're gonna use this to blend everything out. Now I've contoured and helped create some definition in my face. Next up is blush, and for blush, I have one that I'm pretty go-to on, but I also have this awesome Tarte blush palette that's really great, but I tend to usually use a Score from Urban Decay. It's more of a peachy toned. I like to use a blush because it allows you to bring some of that color back into your face that you have lost by foundation application. For blush, I'll just take a large fluffy blush brush. And we're gonna just dip that into the blush right here. And take that, and we're going to blend that right into, I'll go right above and into that contour we applied. So a good way to figure out where to apply your blush is to smile. So added a little bit of color back into those cheeks. And now the final part of shaping the face is my favorite part, which is highlighting. Highlighting is the best. I love highlighters. I love adding that extra bit of sparkle to my face. There are so many great highlighters out there. For me personally, I have Too Faced, and then I also just bought at Anastasia Beverly Hills one, which is amazing. So some of my favorites include the Love Light by Too Faced. Now this one has popped loose from its container, but it's really pretty highlighter. Got the Diamond one from Too Faced. Then also I love this one, which is the Life's a Festival one, which is a multicolor highlighter. If you really go in rainbow, this is the shit. But we're gonna go ahead and use my new one that I just got, which this is the Aurora Glow Glow Kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and lots of different choices here. I think today we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use Luna, which is the one in the center right here, and I just like to use a small little brush here. We're gonna dab it in there and get some highlight on it. And remember, highlight we want to bring forward. So on the nose, Cupid's bow, chin, and then the cheekbones. And then I will also throw some right in the forehead center there. And we have a nice unhighlighted face. Glow. Gorgeous. With that, we have contoured, we have highlighted, we have done our eyes. We only have one thing left, and that is the lips. And for lips, there's so many different products you can use out there. If you're looking for some inexpensive lipsticks, NYX has some great ones. They have a very large selection too, which is awesome. But for lips, you can use lipsticks, you can use lip glosses, you can use liquid lips. You have so many options. Some of my favorites include, I love Too Faced lipsticks are awesome. So are Tarte's. I just bought this one, and this one was really great. This might be what we use today. Nars has some really, really nice lipsticks. This one is a beautiful coral color. I love the Melted Matte and Latexes from Too Faced. These are really nice. They do tend to stay a little more tacky. They're not total dry down. From ColourPop, their Ultra Matte lips are really great if you're looking for a liquid lip that's going to dry down and not really dry out your lips. These are really nice. Their satin lips are also really good. Their glosses are stunning. This one is so pretty. This is the Ultra Glossy lip. but you have so many options. This is one of the NYX mattes. These are really nice too. NYX has a lot of great colors. They have every color under the sun, and they have such a huge range of different types of lip products. So if you're on a budget, NYX is a great place to go for your lip products. So yeah, let's go ahead and we're gonna throw on this one. This is from the Tarte. This is their Lip Sculptor. It's a lipstick and a lip gloss, and this one is the shade Kind. Now, because I went so crazy with the eyeshadow look, we're gonna go a little more neutral on the lips. But trust me, I'm a girl that loves a red lip too, but not necessarily with that. This eyeshadow look, I've kind of been digging the neutrals lately. See, that works with that eye look, because neutral, not too in your face. Love this. These smell amazing too. Oh, this scent is just, oh, they smell like cake. It's kind of absolutely delicious. Maybe we'll just go ahead and throw on the gloss end of the Lip Sculptor that goes right with it. So I applied the lipstick, and then we'll go ahead and throw on some gloss. If you're having trouble applying lipstick or lip gloss with their built-in applicators, don't be afraid to also use a brush if you have to. Usually their doe foot applicators are pretty great and easy to use, but you know, not everyone might be able to be successful with that. And we are almost done, guys. We have one more step left, and that is setting the face. I highly recommend that you set your face after you've done your makeup. This is going to help it stay in place for most of the day. Now, makeup is going to wear off. It happens. It's not going to be pristine, as pristine 8 hours later as when you walk out of the hotel room, which is also one of the reasons why I recommend, if you're going to do a photo shoot in your costume, do it in the morning right after you get ready. You won't regret it, because you're going to look your best right after you finish the look. So for me personally, I love using Urban Decay's All Nighter Setting Spray. It is a great setting spray, and to help hold everything in place, it's also very refreshing. And so we're just gonna give it a little shake and apply that all over the face. All right, guys, so here is the finished look that I did for you today. I will list everything that I used in the description down below, so if you guys are curious about the products themselves, you'll be able to search them and check them out. You know, it was kind of a crash course in beauty makeup, me applying it and kind of talking about different techniques and applications and products. If you guys have any additional questions about makeup, feel free to post them in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer every single question that you guys post. If there's something that I am unsure of, I'm going to do my best to point you in the right direction to locate that answer. I hope this helps you guys out with your makeup for cosplay in the future. And I hope you guys come back again, because we are going to be doing another makeup tutorial video that will cover special effects. So I hope this is informative, and I hope it helped you out. Don't forget to click that subscribe button down below if you guys want to see more videos from me. Also, don't forget to give this a thumbs up and mark off those notifications so you get notified whenever I do upload another video. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Bye!